Welcome to Next Chapter Strong. From deadlifts to date nights and everything in between.
We're just a midlife couple sharing what's working for us.
In strength, marriage, and showing up for this exciting next chapter in life. To cruise or not to cruise? Not a Shakespearean question. More of a Harper vacation question. And you're wondering where we've been for the past couple weeks. We've been cruising.
Well, not for 2 weeks.
Well, not for 2 weeks, but
this is going to be a hot button issue. Let me tell you, because there are two sides to this topic. Either you're a cruiser or you're not a cruiser.
Yeah. I don't see a whole lot of in between there.
So we actually, both of us, have made it 50 years without cruising. We just.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
49 years for one of us.
So you're going to be 50 in November, so chill. So we have not ever cruised, not because we didn't, well, I know you never really have wanted to. I for sure have wanted to, just never really had the opportunity to until recently.
Well, and I'm just not a fan of boats.
Right.
I mean, I love going out, like we went on the pontoon boat, with Nick and and everybody. Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. I like that.
You're not a deep
little
sea
lake.
guy.
I'm not a 15-foot swells for 24 hours like we had traveling up to Sitka.
That, but we both get seasick. But over the years, you've always told me the only cruise you would ever go on would be to
Alaska.
And I just so happened through my efforts and my team's efforts and my company, I earned a trip for two on an Alaskan cruise.
You did.
Which was awesome.
And in fact, one of many trips that you've earned, which we'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, this was one where I was pretty excited for. I had told you Alaska. I thought it would be a great way to see Alaska. So Alaska's vast, right? Yeah. It's 2/3 the size of the continental U.S. You can't really drive through Alaska. There's not roads, at least not like we have down in the lower 48. So if you're going to do Alaska, you got to cruise it, or you got to go on train, or you got to go on little puddle jumper, which not my favorite either. So I thought a cruise would be awesome.
Yeah, and we took a Norwegian cruise line, the Bliss, which the ship itself was absolutely beautiful. I mean, there was definitely some highlights and some not so highlights.
So let's kind of like compare and contrast. Like okay. I'm not going to do all negative, not going to do all positive, but let's just throw a few things out there. So what was your highlight of the trip? Okay, maybe we won't do all positive.
Okay, well, my highlight of the trip for sure was being with all of my friends, the people that I love and work with. That was a highlight for sure. I think a cruise is kind of difficult for a large group of people, though, just because it's so spread out and it's hard to meet up with people. But that was a highlight. And then for me, I really did like the entertainment. I loved the Beatles band. I loved the comedians. We did, what was the show with the Icon show,
icons,
like icons from the past. I loved all the entertainment. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely a highlight. What about you?
So it's funny, that was a highlight. I like that also, but when you say being with all your people was hilarious because the first 3 days on the cruise, you quickly learn you're not going to take the elevators.
Oh, God.
Number one, they're not very fast. Number one, they're always jam-packed, and there's 15 levels of elevator. It just doesn't work very well. So we wound up taking the stairs a lot, which is good.
Which I love. I'm a stair person anyway, yeah.
But literally the first 3 days, we couldn't go a half a flight of stairs without you running into somebody.
Yeah.
So, which is great, but also hard, like when your husband's hungry and he's getting angry, right? Trying to get to the buffet or something. I'm like, man, we got 12 flights of steps here. This is going to take a half an hour. Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
And
then the stops, I really loved, I can't remember the name of it.
Well, Sitka was the first one.
Okay, yeah, that was miserable. It rained the whole time?
It rained the whole time.
Okay, so let's preface that. I am a California, Arizona girl. I do not like cold weather. I do not enjoy being in the rain. I just don't. And so the whole time was cold, for sure. There was no pool action, no laying out on the cruise, that's for sure. But Sitka, and then what was our next stop?
Icy Strait Point.
Okay.
Which the name, I think, implies enough about that.
Right. Well, that one was kind of like a man-made spot.
That was you could tell that was Native American land, I believe, where they had just kind of built a...
Juneau, that was my favorite. Juneau. The Mendenhall Glacier was absolutely breathtaking. That was definitely a highlight. But for me, I just don't enjoy being, part of like a cattle call where everybody, you get to port. We're not the only ship in port, right? There's 4 ships, and it's just thousands of people descending on this town, and everybody trying to get into the restaurants. And to me, I did not enjoy that part.
Yeah, that was it. I felt, so I know we got a little bit off topic here, but I felt like we didn't get to see the real Alaska.
Yeah.
We saw tourist Alaska. We saw the ports that are basically controlled by the cruise companies and all of the shops that the cruise companies own that are set up there. If you ever want to go buy jewelry, go on Alaska Cruise, and any port you stop in, there will be no less than 24 jewelry stores. So have at it. And then kind of some touristy restaurants.
Yeah.
We had, what was the price for Alaskan king crab?
I paid $30 for 3 bites of a crab leg.
And that was in a Bloody Mary.
Oh,
right?
No, that was great. No, and then I bought an additional crab leg for $30.
But there was the other one at the last stop we had where we went to see the lumberjack show. Very touristy.
But cute.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all right. But there's a crab shack there. It's like a crab shack you would see anywhere.
Yeah.
In Seattle, in, I don't know, Maine, anywhere where seafood is very popular. And it's like a family sit-down place. You go and you order and you sit down. And the price is on one of those old school menus where you push the plastic letters in and it spells out what you have and then the prices, right? Nothing fancy. Crab legs. If you wanted the 3-pound crab leg dinner, it was $329.
A nice light lunch.
I said $329 for one person. Like, you imagine taking kids there? That was your $1,500 lunch in Alaska.
Oh,
that
my
was
God.
great.
I also learned there's no such thing as boat-to-table fresh crab. Crab is frozen immediately when they catch it.
Yes, regardless of where you get it.
So the crab we get in Arizona is basically the same crab
you get in Seattle and you get anywhere else. They instantly freeze it.
Okay, that was good to know. I didn't know that. Okay, but it was really good crab. Okay, back to the cruise itself.
So let me jump onto what my favorite thing was.
Okay.
So the 2 days that we had sunshine and visibility greater than 50 yards.
Yeah.
Were my 2 favorite days because we were on kind of the inland passage. You're still in the ocean, but you've got the islands to the let me think about this, west of you, the mainland to the east of you, and you're just cruising. It's like lake smooth, right? Those 2 days when it wasn't storming, we were sitting up on the top deck of the cruise ship, and it was just beautiful. You could see
that was
miles and miles and miles. You can see incredible mountains, the trees, the little islands, and every once in a while you'd see like a little cabin on an island.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Or watching the whales with their
the whales spout, and every once in a while you catch a fluke going underwater.
Yeah.
That was what I thought the whole thing was going to be like.
Sure, yeah.
Right? But there was really only 2 days of that, but we did maximize that getting up on top of the boat. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
And then our last stop was Victoria.
Victoria was beautiful.
Yeah.
I wish
Canada.
we could have stayed there. That's a whole nother topic. The cruises. So we found out maritime law. I'm not well versed in maritime law, but we did learn that a ship that departs a United States port and goes out and only stops at U.S. ports has to abide by U.S. maritime labor law. However, if you leave a U.S. port and you stop in one foreign port, now you basically bypass all of that, which means you can pay people a lot less to operate your cruise ship. And it's kind of, I got a lot of mixed emotions about that. It angered me a lot of it because you see the way those people that work on that cruise ship bust their ass.
Yeah.
And you know that they're doing it for way less money than they should be paid.
Yeah. So tip your people.
We're sitting there eating, give me 2 of those and 2 of those, right? And I know a lot of those folks, coming from areas where you never had that much food in your life.
For sure, yeah.
So there's an issue there.
Yeah.
But of course, in order to get around those labor laws, they stop in Victoria, British Columbia.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
For 4 hours at night, from 8 to midnight or whatever it was. Yeah. But beautiful city. I mean, at night, absolutely beautiful.
I want to go back.
I would have loved to stay there for the whole day.
Same.
That would have been a fun place to explore.
Same. Yeah.
So.
But for me, I was excited because I've always gotten seasick, motion sick, and I didn't. So, I wore the bracelet.
You did not. No.
I did the bracelets. You did the patch.
I did the patch.
Which
I did the bone eye. I did the bracelets.
Oh yeah, the bone eye work too.
I did the.
You did everything.
The other anti-nausea
and you
one.
still got sick.
Yeah. Well, it was when we left port. It was awesome, right? We're kind of cruising out through Puget Sound. It's great. You get out that first day, open water. It was still pretty nice. So we left at like 4, right?
Yeah.
And I remember we woke up that night to the boat was kind of. I'm like, oh. we're bouncing around pretty good at night, right? And whatever. We go back to bed, and then you get up the next day, and it's just fog everywhere, right? You can't see more than, 50 yards off the boat. The boat's just...
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
It was... According to the captain, like I'm not making this up, it was 15-foot seas. I'm not a sailor. To me, those are big seas. I know to sailors, to Navy people, that's nothing. You're laughing. You're calling me a wuss. Rightly so.
I got my sea legs, I think.
You did. I'm a little more sensitive to motion sickness, so that was kind of a less pleasant 36 hours.
I would definitely consider going on another cruise to a warm weather location. I'd like to go to the Bahamas or, somewhere in the Caribbean, I think would be fun, just to try it out again. The room itself, too, was hilarious. Seeing you in the shower, like you were as big as the shower. The shower was as big as you.
I couldn't bend over to pick anything up off the floor. My butt would shoot the door
tight.
open.
Like we're both large people. It was just tight,
It's a tight fit.
Yeah.
It would be worth it if you are going to cruise, and it's super expensive, but to upgrade to a bigger stateroom, not that you're going to spend a lot of time there, but the time that you do spend there, you're with 4,000 other people on a ship. It's kind of nice to get away every once in a while, but when you're just in a room where the bed pretty much takes up the whole room, it's not as relaxing. And
I wasn't super impressed with the food. I thought the restaurants that you paid extra for were good, but the food itself, I'm not really a buffet person anyways, and we didn't eat that very much. But yeah, I mean, again, you're either a crew, and I'd like to see, like, if you're watching this, comment, like, what makes you, why do you like cruises? Because the man next to me at the comedy show was on his 35th cruise. I almost died. I was like, what? But I mean,
that's like every vacation.
I know. But I'll go again, probably without you.
No, I mean, I would. I don't know.
Oh, would you go again?
Maybe like in the Caribbean, something like that.
Check out the app and see what I can get.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to my other point too, because this is a cruise, obviously, but through your work, you win trips all the time.
Earn.
I mean, you earn, earn and win.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. No, I guess not. Earning is better.
Yeah.
You earn it. And so you go to places as simple as, say, Florida, right? We went to, was it
Marco
Amelia
Island?
Marco Island. Beautiful. Love that part of Florida. You also win trips to Croatia, South Africa, the Bahamas,
Ireland.
right? The Dominican Republic, Ireland, Hawaii. I mean, all over the place. So travel is a big part of the rewards that you get through work, but then you also do a ton of travel to build your business that's not reimbursed.
Right.
I mean, you're going, like, just next month, you're going to Dallas, right? You've got team members that are all over the country, and you're constantly traveling to go coach them or work with them or do launch events with them, just supporting them in any way possible. And it's funny because we just got done doing our business taxes, which we were a little...
Taxes.
We got an extension on it, but that wasn't fun. But when you go through and you look at the amount of money that you spend on your business traveling, it's a significant amount of money. And, it got to the point where it's like, okay, what's the return on this, right? I'm spending all this money. What's my return on investment? Return on investment is good. It grows your teams, right? And it definitely grow your business. But, man, if there's a way to save even a little bit on that, that's a lot of money back in your pocket.
Oh, for sure.
At the end of the year.
I don't think a lot of people understand the tax savings that can come with owning your own business.
They are significant.
Like, I know when I was a teacher, W-2 employee, did I win?
You're not winning any trips.
No.
No, the Mount Diablo Unified School District is not setting their
Or
top
when I owned
teachers.
my own business, I always say I paid twice for vacation because I had to pay for people to take over,
Yes,
the business and go on vacation.
And
So especially self-employed, hairdressers, estheticians, people that work for themselves, it's tough to go on vacation. You're paying double.
You are paying double.
You're missing out on income and you're paying for vacation. So, I just want to mention real quick this app that I found that fell into my lap, MWR, Making Wishes Real. And it's a digital travel app. At first, when I saw it, I said, oh my gosh, I travel so much. I want the savings, right? Savings on hotels. But once I really got to learn the business, I was blown away. So I'm excited and I've been having conversations with so many people, especially self-employed people that didn't really realize the tax savings that they could implement by being.
Yeah.
I'm not a travel agent, but I use an app that helps us save on travel. It's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's totally awesome.
Especially as we travel around watching our son play college football. We're going to be staying in hotel after hotel. God, I wish I had this when our kids were in travel sports.
Yeah,
Can you
that would be
imagine?
awesome. Well, and it's. I think it's important to know it's not like, I mean, there have been travel clubs around forever, right?
Yeah.
Where you pay like an exorbitant amount of money to be a member, 20 grand,
no.
right? And
Yeah.
they'd have all these like, hey, you're going to stay at the Waldorf Astoria here. You're going to go to Greece and stay here and all that.
No.
That's great if you want to do that. It's just, that's a little pricey. But it's very cool to know that through technology, you have access. Even like things like Uber and Lyft have done this, right? Where they've made things easier for people to use, help them save a little bit of money, put more money back in their pocket. That's kind of the same kind of thing. And I know when you found that, I was super skeptical because I've worked in the travel industry for 20 years, give or take. And it's such a competitive industry. And there's very little transparency around the rates and the published rates and what's available to the public and what's available to wholesale and white label. And there's 1,000 layers to it. But I love the fact that, you're getting to a point from a technological perspective where you can democratize that. You can give access to a lot of people. Those people have a voice in where they want to stay, the places they want to go. And these companies are able to then curate experiences and get better rates at these locations.
Dave, wait till you see the cruise rates. Okay, I'll lay some
goes
out.
back to the cruise or not
I'll
the
put
cruise
together
question.
a proposal and we'll figure out where we're going to cruise.
Maybe, yes.
Like a 5-day. 5 days I think I'd be good.
Yeah, I don't need a week again.
No.
A week with 4,500 people.
But you're willing to get back on the horse.
I would
I didn't even know that until right now.
I would probably do it one more time in a tropical type location.
I told Trisha you're going to have to come with me because she's my travel buddy.
Trish can go too.
Okay, she can go too. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's you, me, and Trish, is Gino going to go?
No, Dino will come.
Or
Yeah.
Dino,
yeah.
Gino.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dino. I got too many names in my head. But but back to the cruise though, just in general. Again, going back to all the places that we've been and been fortunate enough to go, an all-inclusive resort. I'm sorry to say, it's way better.
Hard to beat.
It's just, or even if it's not all-inclusive, just a nice resort because you're in control. You can go and do anything you want to at any time. You're not confined to the resort.
Unless we're in Mexico because you won't leave the resort.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm a little more safety conscious down there.
Yeah.
I've seen both sides of Mexico,
Right.
so
Right.
Okay,
but I love
without getting into that.
I love that you're willing to explore.
Yeah,
more.
but I would still, and I think a lot of people on the cruise said the same. At least the guys that I was hanging out with, like, just give me a resort.
Yeah.
I'm in control there. I can stay in a nice big room. If I want to meet up with people and have dinner, on the resort, great. If I want to go out and do an excursion, great. I don't have to pay $300 to go
I think one of the
snorkeling.
benefits too is seeing multiple places without having to pack up and pack and unpack all the time. Like you unpack one time and your stuff's there. That I did like.
Yeah, but I like having more time though. Like if you were to go on a European cruise, very popular, right? Actually, your parents are going on one.
Oh yeah.
Which sounds awesome because
Yeah.
they're going to go through the Baltics and see a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know that I'd want to stay in Estonia for more than, a day. That's probably enough. But you get to, Denmark, you get to Sweden, you get to Norway. I want to explore those countries.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to just do 8 hours and then done, right? Especially because on a cruise, you're limited to being literally within, 50 miles of the port, right? It's not like you're going to go up to Oslo, or it's not like you're going to go to, some of these other historic cities. So I think I would still rather take a train and do that.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's one thing I've never. Well, yeah, I've been on a train in Europe, but not in the
Go
U.S.
through the channel,
Yeah.
see all that cool stuff.
Yeah, I've done
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
All right. So we got.
So anyway,
So in our next chapter, we've got a lot of traveling to do. That's one thing on my bucket list is traveling, going back to Lake Como, going back to Kauai where we honeymooned, maybe for our 25th.
yeah, maybe.
We can get back
Maybe
there.
I'll try to knock you off the kayak again.
Yeah.
Collect the life insurance money.
I know you're a big Hawaii guy.
I love Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
which
I
don't
prefer
like.
Mexico myself. I know you don't, but I do.
So
Puerto Vallarta.
So guess where we usually go?
Puerto Vallarta. It's a 2.5-hour flight from Phoenix. It's a no-brainer. And it's so much more affordable. I do love Hawaii, but it's just, when you're paying $20 for a cocktail,
Yeah, it's a lot,
it's insane.
but you're still in the U.S.
Still in the U.S. All right, to cruise or not to cruise. So we'll come back when we get back from our next Caribbean cruise someday. All right, and with that, let's wrap it up. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next time on Next Chapter Strong.
Thanks for listening to Next Chapter Strong.
If this hit home, please share it, leave a quick review, and follow us on Instagram at Next Chapter Strong.
And most importantly, keep showing up strong for what matters most in your life.